the big news. That way we could put it in the thumbnail and stuff and get views.
Oh, what's the big news?
Artemis 1 launched finally.
Oh yeah, it's about damn time.
You know what's great though? It's going to be 2 more years before we see another launch.
Well, from NASA at least.
Well, yeah. But it's going to be 2 more years before that rocket launches. It's just like, the funny thing is, I think the rocket was delayed like 6 years.
Really?
Like, this was
They have
supposed to
some
launch.
really good. They have some really good live streams of the rocket
Yeah.
of the moon. It's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it was supposed to launch like 6 years ago. Well, that never happened. I think it was really close to start the pandemic, but then, the pandemic happened. So then, of course, then we had all the delays now. And it, didn't launch. Oh boy. But we're back to the moon. The furthest any craft meant for humans has ever flown. It beat the Apollo 13 record here the other day. And it's going to smash the record. Like, the record's like 240,000 miles. This is going to get to like 270.
I'm sorry, what are we talking about? What are we talking about?
The furthest any craft meant for humans has ever flown from the Earth.
Oh, James Webb isn't meant for humans?
No. What?
Oh.
Even if James Webb were meant for humans, it's not the furthest spacecraft that humanity's ever flown out there.
Yeah. I just now realize. So, when it's on the opposite end, oh, you just see nothing.
What?
That's dumb.
What?
So when the rocket passes on the opposite side of the Earth, you don't see stars or anything. You see nothing.
I don't know.
I don't have a good enough camera to see stars.
Oh, well, yeah, the normal cameras, yeah, they're not good enough. But they do have star trackers on board the Orion spacecraft. That way it can stay orientated. And actually, I learned most of these star trackers, I mean, the modern ones probably use a variety of stars, but the old ones back in the day for whatever the first Mars missions were, the Pioneers crafts, I think. Anyways, or Viking, I think it was Viking. They didn't use so you would think they would use the brightest star in the sky, Sirius. However, Sirius has a habit of going into the ecliptic. So there's always a chance that a planet's going to get in the way, or, and so you can't always use it to orientate your craft. So they have to use the second brightest star in the sky. Now, I'm sure the new ones use a variety of stars because they can, but I just learned that. So I was like, well, that's interesting. That they don't use the brightest star because it's, well, it has a habit of getting caught in the ecliptic. Which is something one would have to think about. Yeah, So it's pretty crazy. We went back to the moon. And so now we have to wait 2 more years before we see that rocket launch again.
Which the rocket's called Orion, but the mission is called Artemis.
No, the the rocket is SLS, Space Launch System. Great name.
Mm-hmm.
The mission is called Artemis.
Yeah.
And the capsule is Orion.
Oh, the capsule's Orion.
Mm-hmm. And then the upper stage has a different name. Cryogenic propulsion upper stage.
Mm.
They got really creative with these names. Very creative. No, but Artemis, at least this time, it's actually properly named because, as you already probably know, the Apollo missions, which went to the moon, were named after the god of the sun.
Yeah.
Like, what? Why? What? Who? What? Why? Why would you do that? And so now this one is named Artemis. Artemis is the actual god of the moon. So, ta-da! Problem solved. So, did you? Cody came up with the video, kind of in sequence with the Artemis thing, talking about all the stuff we can learn from. Huh?
Go on.
Talking about all the stuff we can learn from the ice frozen up in the craters at the top of the moon. For one thing, if it's possible that the moon's craters at the poles have never been they've never seen sunlight since they formed and solidified, it's possible we could have atmospheric data of the Earth. Because he's like, Earth's atmosphere goes out to the orbit of the moon, the upper atmosphere.
No, Helios. Apollo is just the god of everything. Helios is the god of the sun.
Well, I think it kind of depends on probably where you read it. I don't know. This is from Scott Mainley. I don't know if he actually knows his Greek gods that well.
Because I do remember that my brother was telling me, I think Artemis is like the sister of Apollo. Which is why they're calling, the sister of the Apollo missions. This is like the next thing.
Right.
So the goddess, Artemis is the goddess of the moon. Who is the god of the moon?
I don't think there probably is a god. Do you need a god?
Sure there is.
Do you need a god and a goddess? I don't think so.
Why not?
What do you mean, why not?
Luna is the goddess in heaven and of the full moon. Diana is the goddess of the half moon. Hecate is the goddess of the dark moon.
So, new moon?
What the hell? They have a god for everything? The half moon, the quarter moon, what?
Too many gods. That's issues.
That's what I'm saying. Of course there's gotta be a god. Alright, let's just try and search for Apollo.
Well, anyways, I'm going to keep going here. I don't even know where I was. I've off tracked. I've lost my train of thought. It's gone.
You were talking about, oh no, I don't know.
Oh, moon geography. Yes. So the ice in these at the poles of the moon could potentially contain information about Earth's early atmosphere.
The moon.
Hmm?
You said the moon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because of the way the Earth's atmosphere works and the way the sun's high energy particles has bombarded it, blah 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 blah, we could theoretically be able to detect and look and learn what Earth's atmosphere used to be like billions and billions of years ago. They're not just before. I should say we could be able to potentially learn what Earth's atmosphere was like before the photosynthesizing bacteria. Before life.
The only thing is that with each moon mission, I've read an article, this is a long time ago, but the rockets have been tearing away at the atmosphere.
Oh, no, we're not measuring the moon's atmosphere. We're measuring Earth's atmosphere using lunar ice.
No, what I'm telling you is that when we send rockets to the moon, we've been destroying the moon's atmosphere.
Oh, yeah, I mean, there's always a downside to doing anything. It will be unfortunate when we get rid of the moon's atmosphere.
Mhm.
I don't know what we can learn from it anyways, but it is
Mhm.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
However, the more important part is that this ice, before we just start mining it and turning it into rocket fuel and using it to, supply humans with fresh water to drink on the moon, we really need to explore these craters and really figure out how old this stuff is and do a lot of good science before we destroy it. He was like, I mean, it's possible we could see alien archaeology tools, but he believes that there aren't any, that's very unlikely, and it's not going to happen. But you never know. In the same way that we went to the moon, that we're going to the moon to learn about our planet's past, it's very possible aliens that have visited Earth have gone there to do the same thing. They wanted to learn about this planet's past, so they're like, hey, the moon's going to have information. It would tell us whether the moon's whether the moon's angle has changed. Because if there's a point because we'll see this in the records of the ice, because at some point the ice will stop, and that we know, where the ice stops, that we know that's where sunlight was exposed to it, and so we know those records are destroyed.
Mhm.
Very, very, very interesting. Very exciting. Going back to the moon. Dr. Becky, she's always just like, oh, the Americans want to go back to the moon. This doesn't need to be done. We can send robots. There's no need to send humans. The moon's been done to death. There's other research to be done. But it's the moon. Like, what? Who doesn't want to see people walk on the moon? Who doesn't want to see a woman walk on the moon? Like,
who doesn't want to put a telescope on the moon?
I don't want to put a telescope on the moon.
I know. What the hell is wrong with you?
Nothing. I'm just explaining it's a bad idea. But we'll get into telescopes. I think we can. I think we can move to the topic that you wanted to talk about, which was the state parks video.
Oh no, I just brought it up.
Oh, did you not want to talk about it?
I don't care what we talk about.
I mean, otherwise, we're going to talk about a Dr. Becky video.
Sure.